Hello. I'm in my basement again, and we're going to talk about pelvic floor strengthening, also known as vaginal weightlifting. I think it's funny because nobody really knows anything about this, and it's so important. So, for example, if you walk in the gym and you say, "How do you do a squat?" Everybody knows how to do a squat, or they think they do. And that is an important part of, strengthening the body, a squat. But also, your pelvic floor, guys, so important. And no one I've done some research over the last week, asking random people, what do you know about your pelvic floor? Do you know you have a pelvic floor? What is the pelvic floor? And everybody's kind of just like, I don't know. Even people that have literally been around me for years. So I figured we'd cover this topic. What is a pelvic floor? Let's imagine a hammock. It's part of your core, by the way. Your abdominals, your multifidus, your diaphragm, and your pelvic floor kind of makes the center work. But it is a hammock. This is our hammock right here. And so the hammock is your pelvic floor, and all on top of it is all the organs. So you have all your holes. I'm going to try to act normal for 15 minutes. We're going to see how that works. Okay, be professional. So all your holes. So you have your all of your organs. Okay, so any of these organs that sit on top of your pelvic floor can prolapse, which means, boom, they kind of fall out. So literally, your you-know-what could fall out. And that's called organ prolapse. You can have a vaginal prolapse. You can have uterine wall prolapse. You can have anal prolapse. So rectal prolapse, so your ass is hanging out. I'm just kidding. Okay, I like normal. So basically, a lot of times, this is for my ladies out there. When you grow an organism, when you grow a human, so imagine you have a bowling ball in your gut for 9 months. That bowling ball is, being held up by your pelvic floor. So you have the bowling ball on top of the pelvic floor. Depending on how big and heavy that bowling ball is and how much crazy stuff you do, your pelvic floor could get, like a hammock, stretched out, weak and loose. And that's when, after childbirth, if you don't do something about it, you can have the accidental leakage. So you can have accidents. Every time you sneeze or cough or jump, any of that, you can have urine leakage. And I can't tell you how many times I have been in class over the last 2 decades or so, and people come up and the women kind of whisper and say, I can't do any jumping, I can't do this class because I leak urine. And it's quite embarrassing. But a lot of the other women are like, yeah, I do too. Just because it is common does not mean it's normal. And it is something that's very, very neglected and not talked about for some reason. But it's very, very important, not only for overall sexual health, but also for just life in general. You want to make sure you can laugh and sneeze and cough and go play with your dog and not have to worry about accidental leaks. So with that, you can have a large baby, different kinds of pregnancies, and then also, your pelvic floor can be loose and you have to strengthen it, or it can be like frozen, stiff, and too tight. Most of the time it's too loose. So that is what the pelvic floor is. It basically, men have pelvic floors too. So I always am yelling in class going, engage your pelvic floor. And women, it's kind of the act of stopping urine, so everything draws up and in, like an elevator going up to the top. And men basically suck up their balls. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say balls. But this hair is driving me crazy, and I don't know where it's at. Okay. Pam and Brenda, hello. I'm trying to act normal. So that's your pelvic floor. Anytime you lift, anytime you do anything like that, you need to engage your pelvic floor. You need to at least know how to do it. So try to go pee and stop the flow of urine. Males, suck up your balls. we kind of discussed why you would want it to be strengthened. If you're leaking urine, that's number one. But you don't have to be. I never leaked urine, and I had a lot of work to do after having babies. So let me tell you. But also, it tightens up all of your vaginal muscles in there, so you have stronger orgasms, you're quicker to get aroused, there's more arousal there, increased blood flow. What else is on here? Oh, easier labor, guys. And then after you have the baby, it's a faster recovery. It's very important, and you shouldn't neglect this part of your body. It's very important. It does a lot of work for us. It holds all of our junk in there. All right, how do you strengthen it? This is the goodies. A lot of women mistake their abdominals for their pelvic floor. So when you use devices that strengthen your pelvic floor, I get a lot of people that say, Mindy, every time I engage, the weight pops out. That's your abs. Abs, whenever you engage your abdominals, it pushes down, and anything that might be in there gets pushed out. Pelvic floor is elevator drawing, up and in, up and in. So that's that. I really am annoyed by my hair right now. Just saying. The way that I describe it is how to strengthen it. We've heard about Kegels. Do this, do that, and they talk about that after childbirth sometimes. But to me, Kegels are like standing in front of the mirror at the gym and just doing this without a weight, expecting to get a muscle. You have to either contract and hold isometrically, or you have to lift a weight, okay? You can't just move air. Now, maybe it works a little bit if you do it enough times, but I would much rather be efficient at it and use proper tools in the right way and get that bad boy tightened, and everything, is merry and wonderful. I'm going to show you some things that I use. To be honest with y'all, you know me, I was thinking about actually showing you how to do it, but I'm pretty sure I would get banned, more banned than I already am, and 2, I have to have another phone because one of them has biofeedback connected to my phone. So I have to, it wouldn't work unless I had another phone, and pretty sure that's not appropriate to put on the kids' phones. Yeah. All right, so this is one, where's the top? I don't know where the top is. Intimate rows. This one is funny. They're not in the right order, of course, because they have been on the counter and the baby's gone and played with them and slung them and chased the boys around. I know, it's inappropriate. So this is what the ivory one or the white one is what you start with. It's like a big old fat, it's like a sperm, kind of. Yeah? Okay, and then I don't know which one of these dark ones are the heaviest, but it gets lighter and then darker. So you have 6 weights to pick from, just like at the gym. You've got the light weights and then the heavy, deadlift weights. So basically, the way you use them is you might have to use lubrication. If you do need to use lubrication, you need to look at those hormones. So you take it, make sure it's clean, and you just pop it in there. All right, and then you can go about your day. I mean, actually, they do recommend you doing it in the shower for like 15 minutes and just holding it in. But let's be honest, I don't have enough time to sit around in the shower and hold weights. So I just wear a sundress and pop that bad boy in, and then I go and chop up veg or go water the plants or whatever. Now, with that being said, when I go up to a weight that I'm not ready for, at some point that weight's going to fall out, and apparently that is traumatic for the children. We will cover that in therapy later. I'm the only female in a house with a bunch of dudes. They have to deal with it. But you want to see if you can hold it for 15 minutes, and you want to do it once a day. Once that is fine and comfortable, try to add some movement. Maybe if you're in the shower or like me, walking around, you can maybe add some squats, leg lifts, things like that, and challenge your pelvic floor before you move over to the next weight. I thought I was, I don't I weight lift. I'm super, superwoman. I just went ahead and popped the heaviest one in there, and boom, that thing came right out. So I had to get a reality check, and I had to go back down to level 1 and then work my way back up after I had the third baby. And I was prepared because I did this before and while I was pregnant. So it's still, the childbirth pretty much wrecks you, and you got to put yourself back together. And then that is, there's no EMFs there. That's just basically weights, guys. They're just weighted, vagina weights, pelvic floor weights, wrapped in a PBA-free silicone stuff. Now, the next one, I hesitated for a long time. I was like, I'm not going to put anything that emits EMFs in my woo-woo. But the company sent it to me just to do a review. And I have to say, I was shocked. So it's a little bit expensive, but I have to say it's worth it. I use both because sometimes I don't want to, pair with my phone and blah, 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 and you can't do it in the shower. But this is the back of it. It's called a PeriFit, and it has games that you play. That's what I mean. Like, there's a bird here, and you have to fly the bird, and you have to miss the crows and get the little coins. Oh my gosh, it is the funniest thing. It's hard. It's very hard. But it's the funniest thing to do ever. Like, last time Kristen was here, I'm pretty sure I did it while we were in dinner, which is inappropriate, but you just pop that thing in. It pairs with your phone, and then you watch your phone and you fly the bird. So you have to contract, and not only are you holding this thing in, but it's a completely different training mechanism. The other is weighted, so you have to just lock it down and make sure it doesn't basically come out. This one is not weighted. I'll show you what it looks like. It's so funny. Everybody thinks it's just horrific when they come over. Now I can't get it out. This one it looks like this. Yeah, it looks like a big little penis, little pink penis. But it measures superficial, so it's got a graph right here. It measures, superficial force, accuracy, release, stamina, and frequency. Can't see anymore. But this is what it looks like. I feel like I'm selling sex toys. I'm going to get so banned. So you push the button, boom, you pair with your phone, you stick it up there, and this hangs out. But then it can measure all of the muscles. The ability to squeeze, hold where you are weak, superficial muscles or deep muscles, where you need to work on, and then the program kind of gives you feedback and then adapts to your muscles down there. So I use both. I like to lift, but I also like to get that cross-training effect, we'll say. But this one is fun. It's more expensive. You can't use it in the shower. The other is more practical. So I don't take this with me on airplanes or anything like that. I can throw one of those weights in my bag, and I can use those. But I can't tell you how many times I've been bored and I've just been playing the video games. The boys are confused, but don't tell them. The boys will be confused. If you have young children, it will be confusing to them. Just remember that's what therapy is for. But let me see what else kind of notes I have here. Oh, for the weights, just to know some stats, if you want to see some stats. Majority of the people, the population, are somewhere in the middle. If you can't lift the white weight, then that's fine. You just start laying down and starting, to figure out, your own body awareness. And then you move on to standing. Now, if you can pop the heaviest one in there, like if you are a Miss Pilates instructor or whatever, like my friend, and you can pop the heaviest one in there, add some exercise. So do some squats or something like that. Or the company said that you can put it in and then start pulling the little stringy thing. I've never gotten to that point. So, and then you can add resistance that way. And remember, you are working a muscle. So as you work it, it will get weaker. I'm obsessed with my scores. I'm a little competitive with myself, so I like to have a good score on my parafit. So after a few games, my score starts going down, so I have to discontinue it, and you will be sore. It's a muscle. All right, guys, so you need to not go overboard. Don't go crazy with it. You need to allow it to repair. But back to the point at hand, no, you do not have to pee on yourself. Ever. Ever. It's not an age thing. It's a muscle atrophy thing. If you don't use your muscles, they atrophy. You should train all of your muscles. You should train your eye muscles. You should train your pelvic floor muscles. All of your muscles if you want them to stay strong. Okay? And since there's no questions, what else do y'all want to know about pelvic floor? So you don't ever have to pee on yourself. That's a bonus. I do tucks. I jump on a trampoline, like everything. And no. Now, my babies didn't come out, but that was just their own fault. Also, another question is a lot of people say, okay, Mindy, it's really hard to get in. I need lubrication. And that is completely fine. Just a side note about lubrication, is a very good idea to use things that are natural. Any of the products, like Dr. Anna Kabecka has products, I think both of these companies, Parafit and Intimate Rose, has good lubrications. But if you go out and just buy, like, for example, KY Jelly. KY Jelly is kind of like the chapstick for your vagina. It's not good. It will make it feel like it's lubricated, and then once it dries, it will leave you drier and drier and drier, so thus being addicted to the KY jelly. That's not natural. It's not good for you. It messes up your microbiome down there, so your good bacteria, blah, blah, blah. You can just use olive oil. Olive oil is fantastic. Now, for me, I don't. Some people use coconut oil, and that is completely fine. And the word I am saying is oil, oil, or oil, whatever. The coconut oil is antibacterial, antifungal. So I like my bacteria, and I like it to be balanced, so I don't put coconut oil down there. But olive oil is fantastic. Avocado oil, fantastic. Or any of the products that are clean. Do not use KY jelly, please. But yeah, that is the ins and outs of it. No pun intended. So this is Intimate Rose, and I will link the little code things where you can get discounts because I can give you a discount. And this is the Parafit. So that will be linked in this live whenever I put it up. So you can use both, or, I mean, I think they're good stocking stuffers, personally. But that's just me, a little odd. But I know some people were watching in the UK. They wanted to watch in the UK. I'm going to leave it up, guys. You know, you can watch this live whenever you want. If you do know someone that has had children, if you've ever had children, you need to strengthen your pelvic floor. Period. End of discussion. All right? Unless you want to be incontinent later on. And also, you know, just to put the icing on the cake, leaking urine is level 1, and that's talked about sometimes. You know, if everything, remember it's a sling, so it's a hammock, and remember it holds up everything. And if you let it get too weak, you will have things starting to fall out. All right? Organ prolapse. Look it up. It means that your organs are falling at your holes. Also, you can have fecal incontinence. That's when you poop on yourself. So I'm not laughing at it. I just mean this is a big deal, right, guys? So if there was a potential for in later years for you to poop on yourself or pee on yourself or whatever, and you could prevent it, sign my ass up, okay? All right, that's enough. I don't know what time it is, but the children don't have soccer today, so they're going to be home driving me crazy, and I have to cook. So if y'all don't have any questions, but if you do know anybody that's had babies, like I said, send them our way, or tell them to contact me or whatever. Follow me. This is all on my site. They're on Evolve site. Also, there are exercises specifically for the pelvic floor. I have gone through a whole YouTube with healing diastasis, DR, diastasis recti, and also strengthening your pelvic floor. So there's a series of exercises that you can do outside of the weights. You can literally, it's a strength training program, and it's completely free. It's on our YouTube page. I completely forgot about that because I did it right after I had the baby. I did both programs so I could heal myself. So after, first I would work out, I would do the movements, and then later on at night, when I'm in the shower or whatever, I would do my weightlifting. So, vagina weightlifting. That's for your Wednesday, or not Wednesday, Friday. It's been a long day. All right, I love y'all. I miss y'all. I'm going to do some kind of techie thing for Melissa and make sure I don't screw it up. But you guys, thanks for watching. And if you need to share it with someone that's a female that has a vagina, that's had babies, it's a good thing to do. You don't have to explain it. Just send it on. All right, I wish you tight vaginas and a merry, happy holidays. Okay? Bye.